Welcome back to Believe It or Not, the series where I watch Naruto and give you my personal, spicy hot takes on this age-old anime. We have made it to the big 1-0, folks. We are now in double digits, so welcome to episode 10. And I'm very happy to say that we've got a wonderful batch of episodes this week. But before we get into those, I think we should start with a brief recap. When last we watched, the Akatsuki rolled into the Leaf Village to stir up some trouble. Itachi Uchiha himself pulled some grade A horse piss using the Sharingan's Tsukuyomi to lock Kakashi in a torture nightmare. All the while, Naruto and Jiraiya got the hell out of Dodge, setting their sights on the third Sannin, Tsunade. News of Itachi spreading like wildfire, Sasuke freaked out, gave us a bit of backstory, and then got thoroughly whomped by his big brother. After this hotel showdown went sideways, Jiraiya popped in to clean things up, taking Naruto back out on the road. Along the way, he began learning the Rasengan, a spinning ball of chakra invented by the fourth Hokage. Right before our knuckleheads could meet with Tsunade, Orochimaru crawled out of the dark to demand healing from his old squad mate, in exchange for the resurrection of her little brother and a man named Dan. Gambling Grandma needed time to consider his offer, during which Jiraiya revealed that Tsunade had been elected the new Hokage. Oh yeah, and Naruto got kind of pissed off and challenged Tsunade to a fight. Episode 92, A Dubious Offer, Tsunade's Choice. This one starts off with a little reminder of all of the trauma that has been buried deep inside Tsunade's psyche with the loss of her brother and the loss of her lover Dan, and obviously, when faced with hardship, she goes back to gambling to cope with it. Now, all the while, Naruto is still training the Rasengan, he's locking in, and somewhere in the middle of all of this, Tsunade and Jiraiya have a little sit down to kind of chat, catch up. Jiraiya kind of acknowledges that he knows about this whole deal. He's gotten wise to it. He's just trying to make sure that Tsunade does the right thing, and in response to that, Tsunade, as a sneaky medicine ninja, puts a little bit of powder in Jiraiya's drink so that he passes out. And yeah, for a moment, it looks like Tsunade is actually about to take this deal. But then all of a sudden, Kabuto jumps in, stops the two of them before she can, quote-unquote, heal him, and Orochimaru proclaims that she would plan to betray me. Honestly, this episode is an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, there wasn't a whole lot of new material on the table in this one, but for sheer ambiance and presentation of this episode, it gets so many points. This episode looked amazing. It really captures that kind of like dark and sad aesthetic that like early Naruto had going for it. It reminds me a lot of stuff we were seeing in the first section with the Mist Ninjas. Episode 93, Breakdown. The deal is off. So Kabuto had jumped in to stop this deal, but sure enough, it was not him betraying Orochimaru. He would never. No, it looks like Tsunade was actually planning on doing something devious during this deal, like she was going to stop his heart or use her medicine jutsu to like mess with him even further. As expected, her big motivation for going back on all of this was Naruto. Seeing him and his whole proclamation about being Hokage, it immediately makes her think about her brother, so she cleans up her act a little bit. And that means it's time for a fight. She is so cool. I love Tsunade. I just think that she's like an absolute beast of a woman and she's awesome. So while this little fight is going on, Naruto and Ko are on the trail. Oh yeah, Kabuto pops some pills and kind of reveals that he's also a medical ninja. So the two of them are equally matched, quote unquote. Obviously she's a Sannin and he's like whatever he is, but you know, they both have a very similar understanding of the human body. Kabuto's coming in and using a chakra scalpel to like slice her muscles up, and so Tsunade comes back with electric blast of chakra, which like fries his nervous system. But Kabuto being built different, he just like figures out how to move his body in this new way. Like he figures out like, if I try to move my leg, my arm will move, and so on and so forth. Then just when things are looking very devious, Jiraiya, Naruto, and the gang show up, and Jiraiya locks in, and it's Snake versus Frog, a tale as old as time. This episode was a 7 out of 10. The fighting was fun. I like that, you know, Tsunade's getting some action here, but it does kind of slow down in the second half. Episode 94, Attack, Fury of the Rasengan. So here in this battle of Frog versus Snake, Jiraiya tries to summon the big man himself, Chief Toad, though all he can manage at this current moment because of the poison that had affected him is the little man. I forget his name. He's just a goofy little goon. And then Naruto decides, oh, well, I'll summon Chief Toad. I can do it. He summons an even worse frog. Just this absolute, like, cheese ball of a boy. He's very cute. Don't get it twisted. You know, I love the little frogs, but not particularly useful. Yeah, so the gang locks in to fight against Orochimaru's great big snake. Jiraiya makes this, like, swamp in the ground. Shizune spits like a poison fog. Kabuto goes underground. There's like this whole mess of ninja things happening. Again, this is what I like about Naruto. Its power system is so diverse that when it doesn't feel the need to over-explain things and it lets experienced ninjas do whatever, it's really fun and anything can happen, and I like that. I feel like everybody has like a fun tool set that they're working with and you're never really sure what's gonna happen next, but it feels justified enough because, you know, chakra. There's like a point during this fight where Jiraiya and Orochimaru are like fighting on top of this snake, and for whatever reason, they just kind of start power scaling Naruto and Sasuke. Like they're both on this, oh, Sasuke's got more pure talent, and you know, I could turn him into an ultimate ninja if I wanted to. Whereas Jiraiya's like, oh, but you know, Naruto has guts and he'll never give up. He's a true shinobi. And you know, they're on some stupid shit. I think these old men have kind of lost their mind. Their minds, plural. And yeah, with Kabuto kind of honing in on messing with Tsunade, Naruto decides to lock in and use the Rasengan. It takes him a try, you know, he kind of has a moment where he falters, but he pulls some super dope shit and delivers just this crazy blow right at the end of everything. So yeah, this is an 8 out of 10 episode. A lot of it's carried by the ending, but listen, it was cool. I liked it. Episode 95, The Fifth Hokage, A Life on the Line. So yeah, this carries on where the previous episode ended. Naruto uses the Rasengan, and it's like a full Rasengan. It fully messes up Kabuto in like a crazy way. Kabuto did still like smash Naruto's chest in with like a crazy chakra blast, but the Rasengan is built different, and that energy tears through Kabuto, leaving him basically unconscious. Oh yeah, and I guess in the background, Orochimaru and Jiraiya have been fighting. It's not really about them right now. Seeing that things are not going particularly well for the Snake Squad, Orochimaru fires himself like a missile at Naruto to kill him. Once again, pulling this like super sword from his gullet like he did when he was fighting the third Hokage. And then to save his life, Tsunade just kind of steps in the way of the blade. And this happens like a couple times. Like she keeps getting slashed by Orochimaru's blade. It's looking bad. But after taking some serious damage, Tsunade locks in. The little mark that she has on her forehead kind of expands into like a full facial mark. It is her own little chakra seal that she has been building up. And yeah, she reveals that she's been like banking her chakra for years in order to use it for like super healing, which is great. You know, it's very fun. But Shizune also reveals that like doing that also shortens her lifespan. So it's like, okay, well, yeah. And then all three of them summon their respective giant guys in one great big clash. This one was 7 out of 10. It was pretty solid. You know, the action was good. This fight is, you know, starting to drag on a little bit, but I'm sure there's still fun stuff on the way. Episode 96, Deadlock, Sannin Showdown. So all three of the beasts are out. The snake, the slug, the frog. Yeah, the slug is doing the thing where it like splits off into smaller chunks. Jiraiya is doing some cool combo stuff with Chief Toad. The snake is really just a big snake. It doesn't have any particular cool abilities. Like the slug is at least like made of, like it can split up its body. Chief Toad can like use a giant blade. So at least there's like battle prowess. The snake's a snake. And there's nothing wrong with that. Snakes are still powerful. It just, you know. Oh yeah, they pull like this really cool combo where Tsunade runs in, takes Chief Toad's great big sword, and uses that to mess with the snake. It's crazy. She starts like swinging Orochimaru around by just his tongue, and she really just like beats his ass, which is honestly pretty gratifying. He didn't quite get his ass beat enough in the Hokage fight, so he's doing bad. He also kind of enters girl mode again. You see like a little bit of his, whatever's going on with his face appears. I don't know what's going on with that. We'll find out soon enough. It's technically not his body. That's what we've confirmed, is this is not Orochimaru's original body, but something weird's going on. And yeah, since Tsunade has refused to heal his arms, he says, fine, I'll just figure something else out. He says he's gonna drink the elixir of life and then disappears. So, you know, our heroes finally get their rest. And in all of this, Tsunade decides that she will be the 5th Hokage because, you know, why not? Oh, and since the combat and the danger is over, we kind of come back around. Naruto wants to fight Tsunade again, and instead of actually beating his ass, she just gives him a little forehead kiss, which, as we've established, is the most dangerous thing in the world. You shouldn't be doing that, girl. He's gonna die now. That's just my theory. This one was an 8 out of 10. Solid episode, good fight, great end to this conflict. Now, there is a filler episode in here, so we move on to episode 98, Tsunade's Warning, Ninja No More. We are back in the Leaf Village after so long, and it feels so right. We see Shikamaru doing bug stuff. Kiba is making Akamaru do piss tricks. Hinata is a girl. Konohamaru is mad because his grandpa died. Neji is also there. A lot of stuff is happening this episode. A big focus is on Konohamaru having a hard time dealing with the passing of his grandfather, which makes sense. He's just a little boy. Tsunade, who has finally arrived in the village, decides that she is going to go on this great big healing journey, hitting all of the main spots. She hits Sasuke with healing energy. She hits Kakashi with healing energy. And then we think about a certain splendid ninja who's doing bad. That's right, Rock Lee is back on the menu, boys. But we do have kind of a difficult set of news. Rock Lee has like some bone fragments that have embedded themselves into his spinal column, and as Tsunade explains, removing them, even with ninja magic, is risky. And so it's kind of just a 50-50 chance of the operation succeeding, which is tough, you know? So now we're just left with this lingering question. What's gonna happen next with Rock Lee? This episode was a 9 out of 10. I love being back in the Leaf Village after so long. It feels like after the Chunin exams, we did get a little reset for Naruto, but we didn't get a reset for everybody else. And considering there was so many more characters introduced in that arc, you know, it sucks not being able to see them again. I missed seeing Rock Lee. I missed seeing Sasuke and Sakura too a little bit, I guess, but mostly I just missed the supporting cast. They're fun, so it's good to be back. Episode 99, The Will of Fire Still Burns. Konohamaru once again is having a meltdown. He locks himself inside the office of the 3rd Hokage, and the rest of the village is unable to get inside, which I think is insane, considering they're all like, well, most of them are talented ninjas. But I think it's also a matter if they don't want to risk hurting Konohamaru right now. He's in kind of an unstable state. So he spends a lot of this episode just hidden away in this office with several different traps going off as people try to get in. Meanwhile, back at the ninja hospital, Rock Lee's just very sad. He just keeps thinking about, you know, this surgery and how he might die. So after a little bit of walking around, thinking about fun stuff to do in the village, Tsunade finally kind of locks in. She like walks right into the office that Konohamaru's locked himself in. She comes in, grabs a book, leaves. Konohamaru's just kind of like shocked by all of this. But during this lock-in period for Tsunade, she does some research and finds out that, hey, there is something that could improve Rock Lee's chances, even by a little bit. So, using what she learned from Kabuto, she's going to devise a plan to make this operation more likely to succeed. This one was a 7 out of 10, you know? It's a little slower, we're retreading some ground, but there were a couple fun moments here and there. Episode 100, Sensei and Student, The Bond of the Shinobi. Lee's doing all right. You know, he's okay, no. Lee's doing bad, but he does get a little visit from Might Guy. And in this conversation, we kind of hit Flashback Central. And I love Rock Lee, but an episode that is almost entirely comprised of flashbacks is not super exciting. But, you know, they're talking about the surgery, trying to figure out what the best practice would be. Mike Guy's bringing up this anecdote about, like, him playing rock, paper, scissors with Kakashi one time and him creating this self-imposed challenge of, like, if he lost, he'd have to, like, walk around the Leaf Village 500 times on his hands. And really the main point here is, like, we inflict these rules upon ourselves to make ourselves better shinobi. And so mostly he's trying to say that Rock Lee has chosen a harder path for himself because he feels like that is the best path to becoming a shinobi. So he says, you know, do the surgery. I think it's the right path for you, even if it's dangerous. You've chosen it because that is your ninja way, Darebayo. He also says he'll die alongside Rock Lee if this surgery is not a success.
And on the 1 in 1,000, no, 1 in a million chance something should happen to go wrong, I will die right along with you.
Fully just admits to this child that he's got a suicide pact with him, which is fine. Oh yeah, and then right at the end of the episode, Tsunade is like officially crowned as Hokage. They just have a little like formal ceremony and everybody is like smiling and happy. It's all good. This episode's a 7 out of 10. It's, again, we're retreading a lot of ground. We're getting flashbacks, but you know, it's Rock Lee and I love Rock Lee. Then there's like an entire filler arc in here, but the next canon episode is episode 107, The Battle Begins. Naruto versus Sasuke. They start this episode off with a couple points of resolution. Specifically, in everything that happened with the Chunin exams, the only ninja who is actually elevated to Chunin status is Shikamaru. Sasuke's in a bad way. We cut over to him in the hospital and he's doing bad naturally because he lost to his brother. They're cutting to Choji a little bit now, and mostly it's about how he's got to like stop eating as much. They like order him to stop eating and lock into his training. Choji and Shikamaru have a bit of a loving, tender moment between them. This to show each other some respect, which I appreciate. But all that aside, we get to the real meat. Orochimaru starts to like send some goons after Sasuke because he's ready to reel in that particular fish now that he's had some time to fester and grow. And sure enough, yeah, Sasuke's festering. He's so pissed off about everything that happened, he just immediately challenges Naruto to a fight. So head up to the rooftop for a little clash and things go a little crazy. Sakura's just kind of standing at the sidelines. She doesn't like that her teammates are fighting and really doesn't like have much that she can do about it, so she just kind of says like, stop it, stop fighting. But yeah, it gets pretty rough for the two of them. This episode was an 8 out of 10. They're being feisty and fierce. Naruto Sasuke fight, it goes crazy. It's big stuff. Episode 108, Bitter Rivals and Broken Bonds. We just get a little cut back to the Sound Ninjas. They're on the move. They're heading to the Leaf Village. And then back to the Naruto Sasuke fight. You know, they were coming at each other with their best moves. Sasuke's using the Chidori, charging at Naruto. Naruto's using the Rasengan, charging at Sasuke. It's a clash of the greats. They're using their super moves. And things would have gone bad if Kakashi had not stepped in to redirect all that crazy energy. He like throws them both at like water towers. And we can see that like the Chidori creates this massive hole in a water tower. It drains it of all the water. Meanwhile, Naruto hits another water tower with the Rasengan and just creates this tiny little hole that's like dribbling water. And it's a little question of like their power levels. Sasuke's like, yeah, of course. My Chidori is so much stronger. And Kakashi gets on his case about like, hey, that could have killed somebody. But Sasuke runs away in his edgy, brooding way, only to realize that Naruto's Rasengan managed to blow an even larger hole out of the back of that water tower. And this just pushes him even further down his, like, edgy, brooding rabbit hole. So, since both of the boys did get in a fight, their relevant father figures have to step in. So Jiraiya is like, you know, don't be doing all that. Kakashi, who has taken up the mantle of Sasuke's teacher, says, okay, we're gonna do this. He like ties Sasuke to a tree and gives him a little lecture. And for a while, it's pretty good. He's hitting the main points about like, you gotta be responsible. You have to understand that everybody in the Leaf Village, we're all a team. We gotta work together. It's really good. But then right at the last moment, he's like, yeah, but you'll figure it out. You'll do what you think is right. And just like, lets Sasuke go. So he really fumbles it at the last moment. And then he just kind of fucks off. We get a little compilation of everybody being sad because of what's going on. Sakura's sad. Everybody else is sad. It's a bad time. Sakura and Naruto go on like a little date together. Mostly she's trying to talk with Naruto about what's been going on with Sasuke and her concern. But while that's happening, the sound ninjas finally pounce and they start targeting Sasuke. So yeah, this episode's an 8 out of 10. It's really starting to ramp up. I've heard about it. The old Sasuke retrieval arc. We're starting to get into it now. So I'm excited to see where it goes. Episode 109, an invitation from the sound. So these 4 sound freaks, turn out they're not just goons. They're very important sound freaks. They are Orochimaru's 4 special guys. One of them's got like do-re-mi jutsu powers. One of them's got like spider webs that he can use. The big guy's like very strong, and then I don't know what the girl does because she's a girl in Naruto, which means she's not allowed to do much. We'll get to her eventually. Meanwhile, at the Naruto Sakura date, things are going pretty bad. Naruto's actually trying to have a good time with Sakura, and Sakura is very clearly not interested, using this as an opportunity to talk. She runs Naruto through everything with the curse mark, something I forgot that Naruto did not know about. So she's concerned about this whole curse mark thing and the fact that Sasuke had run-ins with Orochimaru. And sure enough, we head back to Sasuke, and that curse mark is flaring up. It is revealed that every single one of the sound ninjas present here at the moment has one of these curse marks. It seems like Orochimaru gives this out to all of his subordinates, but in exchange for power, it kind of leaves them at Orochimaru's mercy. And to learn to use it better, he kind of would have to go and train with Orochimaru. He's really considering it. Like, he fully Joker-fies, let's be honest. He decides that he's in, he packs his stuff, tries to leave in the night, and in all of this, Sakura stops him. She's trying to really get through to him. She comes off as insane. He loves Sasuke, and she's willing to do anything for him. She literally lays it all out and says, if you're not going to stay in the Leaf Village, please, God, please let me come with you. I don't want to be apart from you. It's a lot, girl. It's a whole lot. I understand you're young, and you are in a bad place right now. He is not worth it. So, Sasuke's main response is like, you haven't changed a bit. You're still annoying. And like knocks her out, leaves her on like a bench somewhere, and then runs off into the night with the quadrant of sound ninjas. And immediately all 4 of them change their tune as Sasuke shows up, revealing that he is now their leader, as was ordered by Orochimaru. And with this, Sasuke goes like a little power crazy and just hits the road with his new ninja subordinates. This episode was a 9 out of 10. It was pretty whack. It was crazy. I was very gripped by this. I'm very excited to see where things go from here. It feels like Naruto has always been leading up to this, it's always been about Naruto and Sasuke, and this is their arc. As an extra bonus, I also had a chance to watch a special filler episode recommended by some friends. Episode 101, Gotta See, Gotta Know, Kakashi Sensei's True Face. It's a fun little episode that has some pleasant animation to it. It is an episode where Team 7 is acting like Team 7. They're kids, and they just kind of want to know what's going on underneath Kashi's mask. Seeing what happened in the previous episode, this is clearly set before all of Sasuke's freakouts. It makes me yearn for simpler times. It's goofy, it's fun. There's like some random goon ninjas who are also kind of out to get Kakashi, and the gang struggles desperately to see what's going on under his mask. It all ends with Kakashi pulling down his mask and revealing he has like another mask underneath it, which is, it's pretty funny. This was just a fun one. I'm not even gonna rate it. I'm just gonna say this was cute and funny, and I had a good time with it. But the main overall ranking for these canon episodes is an 8.6 out of 10. I had such a fun time with this batch of episodes. The ending of the whole stuff with Tsunade was great. There was some fun ninja action. Orochimaru left again, but he is ever present in this narrative and is now going after Sasuke, which is just so crucial to my understanding of Naruto. I know that is like a big core point. So things are ramping up. We're in the Sasuke retrieval arc. Gotta be big stuff, right? So thank you again for watching. If you want to tell me off, if you want to share your thoughts on what I've said, leave a comment down below. I always read them. I always love hearing what y'all have to say. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful day and continue to believe it.